Alright guys, welcome to the part 3 of this course. Alright, in this particular part we're going to just quickly choose the home screen that we want to use for our project. So right now we are going to maybe decide on what to use. Okay, so not necessarily decide anyway, so I prefer this one. Yeah, so I will be using this particular design as the grocery home screen. So let's go ahead and start working on it. Okay, for us to build something like this, we need to consider some things, right? So first of all, this part has been, I don't know, somehow it looks like it's separated, right? Yeah, so separated, and then there's this part, and then there's this part, and there's some things under here as well, right? There's some things under here. So I think these are like pictures, maybe pictures. Can't really tell what the things that are inside here, right? So yeah, so I can see some details here, but it's not really very clear what's there. So I can try to, let me change this to turn off the developer mode, and then maybe I'll just okay, let me just bring this back and click on this, click on this. I'm holding down shift to select these different objects out. So from what I'm seeing here, it's just a container, right? It's a container that has a text, and then I think here should be more like an image, right? So but we will just use it like this for now. Okay, I just wanted to see what's there. So now let's go ahead and then produce this. How do we set this up? So I think what we need to do is the whole of this has to be fixed such that even if you're scrolling, right? Yeah, even if you're scrolling, the whole of this is going to still be fixed. So we have to just build it in different parts. How do we achieve that? So let's just click on this, click on this and see, do I have all the colors? I think this should be the color. Not so sure. Okay, so this is the color here. Let's go turn on the developer mode, right? So let's come here, click on show more colors, and this one is deeper than the other one, right? So I think this one should be for this space, and then this one for outside here. So I can just click to copy that, and then here I'll come back to FlutterFlow, click on this icon for new page, then click on create blank. This is home, let's just call it home. Okay, then click on create page. Then I will delete this, right? Yes, I will just delete this off. All right, that's the app bar, and then I will start creating everything from scratch. So here we have our column, right? Yeah, we have our column here. What we could do here is maybe even just delete it out, right? So let's see, we can later on manipulate it later. So right now this is a container, this is just a container, right? So we will go ahead and then click on this add a child to widget and add a container. So the container is going to have a width of infinite width, and then from what I'm seeing here, it's 376. Basically the width is 376, height is 252. Okay, so here the height would be 252. Then I will paste the color that I had copied before, and then good, we have this. Now that we have the container, we just need to start putting things inside. So this particular detail is in a row, right? So we'll just go ahead and add a row inside this container. So let's click here and add a row. Okay, so inside that row I'm going to add what is there is a text. So hey halal. So it's a 600 by 22 pixel. So I will add a text, and I will just go ahead and paste this here, and then it's a 600 by 22. Okay, then it's actually white, so I can just click on here and use the secondary color to make it white. Good. Now, so we have hey halal, we have this cart icon and the detail here. So I will click on this and scroll down, click on export. change this to 3x and preview it. Okay, so this is it. It has the cards thing, so it's a PNG, so it's okay. So I'll just export it. All right, so the dimension of this card is like 16 pixel by 18. So in this row now, I click on the row. I'm gonna add a child to that row, so we're gonna say image. That image is going to be 16 width and then 18 height. Okay, then we'll remove the border radius, and I'll go ahead and change this from network to assets so that I can actually click here to upload the image. Okay, so let's go ahead and click here and then just upload the image. All right, so now we have that, and then we have what we need to do is we need to go ahead and make sure that these icons are far like apart from themselves. So I'll click on row and use this particular type of alignment. Okay, this one, which gives space between them. Then I'll click on the text here. Then I need to check out the space on the left. So I hover on it, select the text, then hover on it, and I see 20 on the left. So the padding on the left here will be 20. Okay, great. We have gotten that figured out. And then here, this image now. So we have something here that is a container, right? So this is a container. Well, so here the color is this is the color, so I'll just copy it, and the radius of this container, let's say it's 24 pixel by 24 pixel. So how do we even get to do this, right? So what we need to do is we need to wrap this wrap that image with a widget called stack so that we can put something on top of it. All right, so I'll click on this now and add a container, and then I will click here to turn the container into a circle. Then here is the container was let's say 24 by 24, right? So I'll go ahead and say 24 here as the diameter. Then I'll paste the color here. Great. And then the next thing I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to go ahead and then check out some things. So here we have we're going to try to just push this container a little bit away from the edges here. So I will go ahead and say the padding here, I can just say let's try to figure out if at all we can find something. So this is 4.99, so let's just say 8, right? Or 9, let's say 9, right? So something like that. And then we need it from the bottom too, so maybe 9 again. From 9, so let's say 8 actually. Okay, that's not giving me what I want. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give the image itself some sort of padding on the top, 9. Okay, so now I have 9. Great. So inside this container I will go ahead and add a row. Inside the row I'm gonna add a text, and then the text is going to be 3, right, since it's what we had there. And let's see the font size. So the font size is 600 by 14. So I copied the color of the text as well. So the color, I paste the color here in the text color, so it says 600 by 14, right? So we have this. I'll click on the row and then click on center align, and this is it. Now we have this particular design. So I'll click on the stack now, just double tap again to close it, and then I'll give it a padding on the right. So from what I'm seeing here, this says 8, but I will try to, okay, this is 8, so I will just give it 10 because some things are not very correct there, so I'll just give it 10. Okay, so now this is it. We have the same scenario now, but now we have something we need to do. We need to put this particular information. That means the very first thing before adding the row would have been a column, but we didn't do that. So how do we fix that? We just need to go ahead and wrap this row with a column. Now, why do we even need a column? We need a column here because things are being stacked inside here from top to bottom, right? So when there's something stacked from top to bottom, then we need a column for it. When it's stacked from left to right, we need a row for it. Okay, Great. So here I will right click on the row and say wrap widget with a column. Great. And then now we have this. So I'll click on the row and I'll click here to look at the padding from the top. It says 20, right? Oh, sorry, not 20, 52. Why did I say 20? Okay, so 52. So I'll give the padding on the top 52. Good. And then now I will click on here and I want to add these particular this is gonna be a container, right? So this container is 335 by 56. So I need to start showing you something here. So let's say we want to put a container there, so we will put a container, but we won't fix the width of the container. We will say infinite width. All right, we will only fix the height, which is 56. Then let's copy this 56. 28 is the border radius, so the height is 56. Okay, so we have 56. The border radius is 28, so we got that right. The field color is what we had copied. We got this right too. And then we need to go ahead and see the spaces in between them on the edges. So padding on here is 20, 21. So basically just use 20. So we'll say 20 here. Okay. 20 here as well. Now the reason why we're doing this is because we want it to be mobile responsive across different screens, right? So if at all we fix the width, then now that I've changed the screen from 375 by 812 to 428 by 926, it would have just remained with the fixed width that we gave it. So I'm already showing you mobile responsiveness hacks here. Okay, so now we've gotten that out of the way. We need to check the space above, so it's 35. So I'll click on this and give it 35 as the padding from the top. Then inside this, now I'm going to add a row inside this container. All right, so the row is going to carry this image. This icon is this icon for search, 18 pixel by 18. I just want to have the same thing, so I will go ahead and click here, change it to 3x, and then just export the search icon, so it's 18 by 18. So in this row now I will click on add a child to that row. So put an image is gonna be 18 pixel by 18 pixel, and then remove the border. Okay, change from network to asset and click on this icon here to upload the image. So now I have the image, I click on it, I upload it, and there you go. So here we have that. Now we need to space it from the left. So this is going to be 28 from the left, so we will say the padding on the left is 28. Now we need to add something else to that row, so we're going to add a text field. So that we just click there to type text, and then we select here, which is a text field. And then our text field, we have a text here that says search product or stores. Now we need to scroll down here on the left hand side and then remove this label text, gone. And then for the hint text, we are going to just paste this here. Great. And let's copy the color. The size is 500 by 14. So change from here to 500, leave it at 14, the color, paste this. There you go. Okay, now that we've gotten that, we need to go for the input decoration properties, change this from underline to none, just so that you can remove the line that was under it. Okay, now we have this beautifully arranged scenario. The spacing is 12 here, so we just need to go ahead and change this padding to 12. And then now we have this, and all is well. Okay, so we need to go ahead and do other things. So we have these and we have this. So let's go ahead and see how we can fix it. This is basically a row. So I'll click on the column and click add a child to widget, say row, and then I will add a text. The text is what I have here. I'm just gonna copy it. It's 800 by 11 pixels. So I'll go ahead and paste it here. Okay. Change the font size to 800 and the font weight to 800, and then this to 11. Okay, so then I'll just go ahead and copy the color of the font, color the text, and then I'll just paste it here. Great. Then now that I've gotten that, this is the same thing. I just need to copy this, but before I copy that, let's click on this and say Ctrl D to duplicate it. and then I'm just going to copy what is inside here. It's the same thing, 800 by 11. So I'll click on this one now, and then I will go ahead and put the details here. Sweet, right? Great. I'll click on the row now and say give them space in between. Great. And then I also need to give the padding of 20 on both sides. So this one is 20, this one is 36. So I will click on this particular text and say 20, and then click on this particular text and say 36. All right, then I will go ahead and then click on here and say 29. All right, so 29 here. Good. So we have 29, and the next thing we're going to quickly do is we have to put this information. So this is more like a drop down, right? It's a drop down. There's a drop down, there's a drop down. So let's go ahead and click on the column and add a row. So in the row, we're going to add a drop down. Okay, so this is our drop down. And in the drop down, we're going to just go ahead and then add the text that is found there. So this is it. I just copied it, 500 by 14, and I will just paste it here. Actually, I can paste it here. I can then paste it here as well. Okay, good. And then 500 by 14. So I will say 500 by 14. And I will clear the fill color, so clear the fill color, and then the border color cleared as well. Great. Then I will go ahead and just copy the color here, and let's give it to the text. So I paste it here, and there you go, we have this. And next thing we need to just quickly do is we need to go ahead and we can remove these elevation, make it 0, border width, we just make it 0, border radius, we don't really need all of that. The icon color for the selector, like the drop down, so we can just paste this as white as well. Okay, so now we have this, we can remove this. All right, and then maybe this as well, or we can leave that there actually. So let's see, let's even make that 8. Okay, so now this is it, we have this, and here we can say 20, not 16. All right, then we have to work on this width, right? So we don't need our width to be 300, we can say 200. Okay, 200 doesn't really work, so let's say 250. 250 is well big, so 220. Okay, good. So now we have 220 and it works. So the height here is we can say 20. No, let's say 30. All right, so 30 works. Okay, good, 30 works. So we will just go ahead and click on this and say Ctrl D to duplicate it. And then here we will just copy this information and say let's scroll up and look for where we can put the text. So we will put it here and we put it here. Okay, so then from here on the width part we can just say 60. No, 60 doesn't work. 100. Okay, so there was a problem there. So click on this and say the width is going to be 100. No, 150. Okay, maybe something like this. 120. Okay, 110. Okay, so we have this. I'll click on this now and then say space in between, and I think that's about it. Okay, so I think we're good, but this drop down has a different kind of color, so let's click on that to select it and say click on this now, then scroll down. The drop down is going to just have this color. It's just a little bit different, so click on this and then do the same thing. Okay, so now we have this. So let's see, this and this, we don't have the exact scenarios here. So 500 by 14, let's see if there's somewhere that we didn't get it right. So 500 by 14, imagine, okay, so we can say here is 36 actually, like the padding on the left for this is 36. So this has a lot of spaces we don't need, so we can take this off, right? Yeah, so imagine they're gone, and so this one also gone in a way, right? Gone. So if we take that off, we're supposed to give it to this place, so we can say 20. So okay, so this is 20. Yeah, okay, let's look at what we have here first. It's just gonna help us see if we can get the right thing. So I'm just gonna scroll it, like zoom in and see what we have. It's roughly like 20. Okay, we will just tweak it until we get the correct thing. So here we will say the width is maybe 50 now, right? Okay, not 50, 80. I typed the wrong thing there. So let's go ahead and just see what we have here. 80. Okay, that worked, but maybe 70. Why does it just keep behaving like that? Okay, so let's scroll down. I think I end up typing something. Let's take this and say 70. Okay, that worked. And let's delete this. Let's say 60. All right, I think I keep clicking on something inappropriate and it just doesn't like it. Okay, where is it? Okay, so I think I have to come over here. The width is going to be 65. Okay, so that works. Okay, then I can go ahead and click on this. Okay, I think I would just go ahead and reduce this, make this 10 for instance. Okay, 10. All right, so it's almost about it. So maybe towards the end we will maybe just debug some things and get it working properly. Okay, so but for these I think we're good to go. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, we need to just go ahead and create this carousel. Okay, so to create this we just need so I think this is some form of advert, right? So we don't necessarily need to get this from database, right? But I think we could just still create it from database. Yeah, so let's create it like that. Let's just create it manually. So I'm clicking on the home now. This is the container. I'm going to click on so basically I'm supposed to add another container under this, right? For instance, or column. Yeah, preferably column. So if I try to click on this to add a column under this, it will not like it. So it will tell me to wrap it in a stack or something, so which is preferable. So I will have to click on the container here, right click and say wrap in a stack. Okay, so now that makes everything work out very well. So it's gonna be on the stack that I'll click on this and say add a column. So the column is gonna come the column is going to come under now. Okay. So I'm thinking of the best way to do this. What if I wrap this container in a column and then add things from there inside? Okay, so if it's going to maybe towards somewhere around the end, if it chokes us, we'll get back to it. Okay, so let me wrap these in a column, and then in that column I want to add I want to just quickly add a container. All right, so this is my container now, and that's what we're gonna have here. So I'm gonna copy the color. It has border 16. The width is 269 by 123. So we will just have it like that, 269 by 123. And the secondary color is, the field color is this, and the border radius, I think it was 16. Okay, so 16, and then we have this image 68 by 68. Let's just download it. I know we did before, but let's just get this one also. So we download it. So it's a 68 by 68 pixel. So here in this, I will just go ahead and add a row inside the container, and then I'll add an image. The image dimension is going to be 68 by 68. Okay, and there's no border radius. Change from network to assets, and then click on this to get the image. So I just bring up the image, and then that's it. So this is the image. What we need to do now is we need to go ahead and get this text. All right, so I don't know why. I think I have to turn this off. Okay. All right, so I think all of this kind of it doesn't look like a text. So this is a card, and where's the text? Okay, this is a text, but it just didn't allow me to select it. I don't know why. So I'm selecting it manually from coming here. So here is get, and it let me just go into this. So get is 300 by 20, and where is the get? So I will just copy it here. So get, so here, okay, first of all, let's look at it. So this is a row that all of this is inside, but now this is in a column. So we need to go ahead and add a column to this row. So I'm gonna say add a column inside here, and then in that column I will go ahead and add a row, and in that row I'm gonna add a text. And so this text now is the one I am pasting now. So get is this is it. I will just copy the color. It's 300 by 20. I will say change this back to 300, and then change these to 20. 20. Okay, good. Then paste the primary text color, and now this worked. What we need to do quickly is we're just going to go ahead and duplicate this, right? And then I will click on this. So it's not working. So I need to go ahead and then find it. So where is it? 50%. Okay, this is it, and just copy it off, or you can just click in here, copy, then it says 800 by 26 pixel. So I'll go ahead and click on here, and then I will come here and paste it. So scrolling down, 800 by 26 pixels. Okay, so 26, yes, correct. So then I will click on the column. You see it's not aligned properly. I need to click on use this particular alignment that says start from the first place. All right, so then I will go ahead and duplicate this row again, this one, and then I will try to get this particular text. Where is it? Copy this. It's 500 by 13. So I'll click on this, and then I will paste this information, and then I'll come here and change it to 500 by half of this, so 13. So this is it, and we are good to go. So here it has some let's turn this developer mode off, and then okay, it's not giving me what I need. Let's say on this I wanted to see if there's a space in between them, but there's a space, but it's not showing. So let's just go ahead and give it maybe 4 pixel here, and then oh no, not on the text but on the row. So I click on the row and say 4 pixels padding, then this one as well, maybe 4 pixels padding, and then I will click on the column itself and center align it. Good, yeah, center align it like that. So that's how we have this, and what I need to do now is I need to get the distance apart from this, but it's not really showing me. So here is 22, so I think I'll use 22 on the right hand side too. So I'll click on the row itself and tell them to be apart like this. Great. Then click on the column and say 22 here, and then click on the image and say 22 here. So like that, it gives me some sort of equal spacing. Then I'll click on the main container here. All right, and what I'm gonna do here now is what is going to make it into a carousel. So how do I do that? I'm going to have to wrap this widget in something called where is it? So basically I'm gonna wrap it in a list view. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it in a list view. Then I need to change it to horizontal. All right, but there's an invalid action. Now the reason is because for us to get it right, we need to wrap even our list view in a container. All right, so that has a fixed width and a lot of things like that. So I'll wrap the widgets, that's a list view widget now, with a container. All right, then I will give it I can give it an infinite width. All right, but I need to give it a fixed height. Okay, so let's say this height is 123. I can just say this one is 125. Okay, all right, good. Now that's how I give this a fixed height. And then I can go ahead, click on this, come to my container here, and what I'm going to do now is this container, the reason why it's spreading across like this is because first I have not given it some form of padding and all of that. So what I could do is I can go ahead and wrap this in a row, right? So before we do that, let's see what happens here. Let's click on this and change to horizontal. Now that works. So now we have these adjusted properly for us. Okay, so we have this, and then we can now go ahead simply and let me add a padding in front. This should just be what we have been having before, so 20. So I'll go ahead and then duplicate this. All right, so where is it? Let's click on this and duplicate this. All right, so now this is basically it. So we can just go ahead and click on this and take the color. Let's change it to developer mode and copy the color. So I can just give the color to this particular container here and say I'll just paste it. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, so if I click on this now, this settles. All right, so I will click on the list view. No, just close it. Click on the container and close it. Now this is the carousel. We can even rename it. We can call it maybe not carousel. Okay, let's call it carousel. We can call it carousel, and this is maybe header. We can click this and call it header. Okay, just so that we can always know which is which. So I'll click on the carousel now, and I need to give it some padding from the top, 27, and then so I'm saying 27. All right, hope you got that. So now this is it. We have achieved that particular part. Now we need to do something else. Now in the future of our designs, we will just be a bit quicker. We have something quite interesting waiting for us here. I can't wait to work on that. So here we have the text here for recommended. It's 400 by 30 pixels. So I will just click on the column here. There's a column here. So we'll just click on this and add a row. In the row, I will click to add a text. All right. And then I will just go ahead and then paste what I copied. It's 600 by 30, I guess. I hope I didn't miss it. So I would just have to confirm. So 600 by 30. Oh, it's 400. Okay, so it's actually 400. I don't know when 400 decided to resemble 600. Okay, so this, I will just click on this and give it a padding on the left 20. Then I need to give it padding on the top, and I give it to the row. Okay, yeah, so I'm giving it to the row and I say 27. Good work. Now the next thing we need to quickly do is we need to add a container, right? So we add a container below this. What container is that? This one. So this is what we want to do now. So this container is 128 by 194 pixels. So it's 128 by 194 pixels, and it has some sort of color. I'm copying it. The border is 12. So I'll put the border radius here. The fill color is this. Okay, and we're still going. All right, then we will go ahead and then fix this image. So let's download this image. So I'll come here, export, say 3x, export it. All right, I didn't preview it. I hope it's correct. Okay, yeah, correct. So it's 68 by 68. And since things have been stacked from top to bottom, what do? We need to add a column inside the container. So I'll click on this and add a column inside the container. Inside the column, I'm gonna add the image. The image is 68 pixel by 68 pixel. Great. And then I'll remove the border radius, change from network to asset, and then click on this to upload the image. So click here, upload the image. There you go. So now we have that. We now have this beautiful triangle. Did I just say triangle, guys? Really sorry. So it's not a triangle, it's a line. It's a horizontal line. So we would just go ahead and then do that here too. So let me click on the column and click on add a child to that column, put a container, and give this container an infinite width, give the height 1, and give it the color this. All right, great. So now we have the color spacing in between is like 14 by 14. So let's say the padding on the left for that line is 16, for the right it's 16, and then it has a padding from the top 18. Okay, so we have this. Now that's it, we have that scenario. So let's click on this one and give it a padding from the top. It says 20, so the image has 20 pixel padding from the top. Let's continue building. Now here we need to go ahead and then put the text here, and then this beautiful button. Okay, so let's see what we can do. All right, so we have our two things here. So I think this one we're gonna just use a container. All right, so let's click on this, and then we're going to add a row. In the row we add a text, and that text is what we have here, fresh lemon. So fresh lemon, 600 by 14 pixels, 600 by 14 pixels, 600 by 14 pixels. And okay, let's see what we have next. So this is 14. Okay, fine. We're going to use padding on the left 14, something like that. Then from the top is 7. From the top is 7. Let's give it to the row. I'm giving it to the row 7. And then we will go ahead and let's just go ahead and hold on. Let's see, 600 by 14. We did that, right? We did that. So let's select the row, Control D to duplicate it. Now we want to use it to make this one. So this is 400 by 12. Then we come change the color. So I click on it, paste what we copied. This is 400 by 12. 400 by 12. Did I get it right? Yes. Then copy the color code and paste it here. All right, so then what I need to do next is what do we do? Okay, so I think we've pretty much done most of the things we needed to do. So here we just need to go ahead and add a container and then set this up. So 108 by 24 pixel for our container. So I'll click on here again and add a container. So the container is 108 by what? By 24 pixels. So it's this is gonna be 24 pixels. And then we have it that it has a border 12. So we will say border is 12. Great. And then we need to put the text. So this is 400 by 10. And so inside here we're going to add a row inside the container, and inside the row we are gonna add a text. And the first text is what we had copied, and this is 400 by 11 if I'm correct. So yeah, it's 400 by 11. The color we copied, we have to be consistent with the design. I just like to paste it directly, it's not allowing me. Okay, use color. And then okay, so did that work out? Pretty much it did, but it didn't work out. Okay, so this is my text, right? I didn't pretty much see where that is. So this is my text color. Okay, let's go ahead and add another text. All right, so we're adding another text. Okay, so there is a problem. This is my container, right? And this is my row. I'm not seeing everything properly, so let's zoom in. Let's see what is happening there. So this is my text. Let's change this to black first. I just want to be sure I'm seeing correctly. It's not working. Something is happening. Okay, my text is not showing properly, and something is happening that I need to figure out. So here, I just had to delete that one and paste this one. No, this is what I wanted to paste. Unit. Okay, so I would just go ahead and paste this here just to be sure. So I got this right, but let's copy this now and paste. So maybe there was just a glitch there, I think. Okay, maybe it was a glitch. So I'll click on this and say Ctrl D. Alright, so and I'm going to use this now. This is gonna be 600 by 14. So I'm gonna click in here and say 600 by 14. Where is the content? So I'll click here and paste it. Alright, so we need to copy the color here, and then we paste the color. Great. So let's look at the spacing in between. So it's just 3 pixels in between. So we can just say 3, and then here is our row dot. Okay, so now there is a small challenge that I'm going to try to fix. So here is a container, right? Okay, I get it. I get what is happening here. My container is basically at the center, so it's all good. We will fix all of this. I'm just gonna close it. I want to put this information, this circle here, on this place. So I'm just gonna click on this, copy the circles, color, and this is 24 pixels by 24. So I will just go ahead and wrap these in a widget called stack, right? The same thing we did before. So now in the stack, I'm gonna add a container. The container is gonna be a cycle, make it a cycle, then say 24. Then the color of the container, I paste it. And then what I'm going to do next is going to be beautiful. Let's add a row inside the container, and then let's add a text inside the container as well. And then now we have a plus icon there. So well, you can actually do maybe a plus on your keyboard, right? It still works. It's a text. And then but I don't think we should do that. So let's remove it. Let's click on this. Add what we want to add is gonna be an icon. So we add an icon there. The icon is, we click on settings and say add. So then just click on this. The icon's color here is 12 by 12, so we can change these to 12 and then change this to white. Pretty much it. Then click on the row and center align it by clicking here. And then now let's click on all the container itself, and we need to go ahead and click on this and see the space in between. So it's 84, you see. So that means it's gonna have a padding of 84 here, like this. Good. So now we have our button, but we need something else, right? So inside this, there's a spacing of 12 on the left for the very first text unit. So we will click on the unit and say let's add a 12 here. Okay, so like this works. Okay, so now we have that. Let's go ahead and click on the container itself for these button, and let's scroll down and look for something called box shadow. So we turn it on and it gives us some sort of shadow there. You see, now it gives us some sort of shadow, which just makes sense, right? So let's go ahead and then click on this and see the spacing above. It's 10. Let's go ahead and say 10 here. Now this has worked pretty much, but we have some little spacing issues. There's not enough space on the bottom here. We need like 12 more space, but I think this took a lot of space. 20, 18. I don't know where we didn't give it the correct spacing. Was it the fresh lemon? Fresh lemon. What's the color, the font size? 600 by 14. Okay, and then organic 400 by 12. Okay, I see. It's the organic that we gave so much of spacing. This did not even have a spacing, so we can actually take this off and maybe just say 1. We don't even need it, just take it out like that. So like this now, we got our design correct now. So we can just click on this and click this to close everything. And just like we did it before, we're going to have to wrap this widget in a list view. Okay, and then in this list view, we need to go ahead and wrap this list view in a container with an infinite width and with the height of this of 195, right? So let's make it 195. Okay, so this gives us 195. Then we can now go ahead and click on the list view and change it from vertical to horizontal. So now we have our container done properly. So with these now, we can go ahead and just duplicate it a couple of times. Before we duplicate, let's give it some padding on the left and say 20. Okay, and then we can say Ctrl D. I did just say Ctrl D. Okay, let's close this. Let's close this. Ctrl D again. Alright, so now we have this setup. Okay, pretty good. Now we have some issues. We have to go to our main container, right? So this one here, and clear the color. Alright, so click in here and clear the color so we can have it like this. Alright, now this is pretty good. Alright, so this is 18 pixel from the top. Let's click on this list view, click on the container and say 18 pixel, right? Okay, so now we have this. What we have left is just a couple of things to do before we finish up. We have first of all, I just need us to do this. So this just has is just a container, like 86 pixel by 90. So I'm copying it, 86 pixel by 90. So click on the column, like I'm gonna have to reduce this. Click on the main column, and then I'm going to add a container 86 by 90. So we will say 86 by 90, and paste the color here, and then the border radius is 12, so we will just put 12 here, and go ahead and click on this and say add a column to here. In the column we're going to just add a text. All right, now there's a text there, that's why there's a text here, the text below. Let's do what we did before. Let's go ahead and select this and then hold and select. Okay, let's turn this off first. So I'm selecting this, and then this, and this, and this. So I'm gonna pull it out. All right, and just keep it here. Okay, and then so now you have these juices. You see those juices? That's what I'm just gonna copy. So I'm gonna just paste it here. Okay, great. Then from what I'm seeing, it's a 10 pixel from the bottom. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on this and say take it to the bottom. No, it didn't work. Okay, let's go ahead and then say let me wrap this text in a row. All right, and then center align it. Great. And then say go down. Oh no, not that. Okay, so okay, so it's actually gonna be the column itself, so I want it to align towards the bottom. Great. Then click on this and say 10, so like this. All right, so we have these arrangement for us. Now with these I can just go ahead and then wrap it in, of course that's another carousel, so wrap it in a list view, and then that list view will be wrapped in a container that has an infinite width and has a height of, let's say, 91. Okay, then we can now go ahead and click on the list view and change it to horizontal. Now we have our magic done for us. Let's give this a padding of 20 on the left, and then click on it and say Ctrl D. Okay, okay, so we can just Ctrl D and maybe another one. Okay, so all of this will come from the database when we're done. So let's go ahead and click on the main container that has the list view and clear the color like we did before. All right, then let's look at the spacing from the top. So this is 22. I had to click on Alt to see that number, 22. So I have 22 here, and then what I need to quickly do is I need to add this last part down. Okay, so let's see how we can add the last part. The last part is going to be our, I'm trying to close all of this now. Yeah, I want to add the navigation. Yeah, navigation. So I'm just gonna say Ctrl Z. Okay, I'm trying to say Ctrl Z so I can bring this back. And then so now we have this. So how do we achieve this? From what I have in mind, what we need to do is we need to first of all have these as an image. Okay, so let's go ahead and then preview what we have. So I just selected that and use it as 3x and then just export it. So this image is 375 by 89. Okay, so this is one way of achieving this. So what I'm gonna just do now is click on the column, and then I will click on this and say okay, now this one might just not be in the column, right? Because I want it to stick to the bottom. So what I will do is I will click on the stack and add an image here. The image, let's try infinite width first. Okay, because it's actually supposed to be infinite. Then let's say 375, let's say height is 89. So the height is 89. So let's say 89 here. And then here we just remove the border radius. Okay, so we have that. We need to now go ahead and then change from network to assets and then upload our image. So this is our image. It has a brown thing somewhere there. I don't know how that came about. It says, okay, so this is it. We have the image. All right, so it's not pretty, the height is not enough for what we, because this is supposed to, like, I've not seen the base, right? I haven't seen the base except I do something like this, and that's not what we want to do. We don't want to do that. We need to see the base, so I will increase the height here to maybe 150. Okay, and so we see the height a bit. So let's see, the height is that. Okay, so we will have to do some manipulation here. Let's make it 180. Okay, no, it's not gonna work that way. These might just work. Okay, so let's push it down. Let's take this down. So we'll click on this to move it down. So I clicked on that, telling it I want to always be aligned to the bottom, so it's down here. So now that it's there, what we need to do quickly is I need to put now this is fine here. Okay, so we need to go ahead and then add some things on top of it. Now this is where we might actually have an issue, right? Because this is an image and not a container. So let's delete this. All right, I'm deleting this. I want to add a container so that I can put some things on top of it and not necessarily use stack. Okay, so I need to add a container. The container is an infinite width, and then I think we use 150, so 150 is fine, and pushing it down to the bottom. Great. And I am going to go ahead and let's see. I will go ahead and then add a background image, so assets, and then I will click on this and add this up. Great. So now that I've done this, let's see, it appears it's okay. It's pretty okay, really. So then what I need to do now is I will go ahead and add a row in this container, and then I will go ahead and add it's gonna be a column. I will show you why it's a column. So this is it, and there's an image here, and then there's a text. So I will just click on this, export, and then change this to 3x and export category. The image is it's giving me in a zip file. While that is okay, I don't really like them in zip files. So let's say 24 pixel by 24 pixel. Let's go ahead and add something there. So we're adding an image, and the image is 24 pixel. Let's see it, 24 pixel by 24 pixel, and we remove this border radius, change from network to asset, and we're gonna click on this, and then we're going to okay, so let's say all files. This is it. Oh no, come on. All right, so we will need to get our file from here, and let's see, I'm just gonna cut this out from here, and let me put it maybe here. Okay, so I'll create a file here and say stuff. Okay, so click here and then just paste it. Click on here and extract the files here, so everything will be inside here. So this is it. I'll just go and copy this link, and then I'll just come back here straight, click on here. I'm gonna paste the link to where the image is directly, and then that's it. So I have this, and I'm gonna just create it first and duplicate, then I'll change it. All right, so we have these this here, so I'm just gonna click on this and add a row. In the row, I'm gonna add a text, and the text is going to be what we have here, categories. and it's let me turn the prototype mode on. It's 500 by 12, so I will paste the text here first. Okay, then I will go ahead and come here and say 500 by 12. Okay, does this make sense? 12. Good. So now we have this done for us. We need to go ahead and just add the color. So click here and then add the color. So that's it. Good. Now what I need to do quickly is I will go ahead and just maybe say center align it, right? But this is not gonna give me exactly what I want. Yeah, it's not giving me exactly what I want. So it's not actually giving me exactly what I want. Okay, what I could do simply is maybe just center align it first, then I'm going to do some padding from the top. I don't know what it is going to be, but I can say 25 or 40. Okay, so now I have this, and I am just going to shift it across. Let's see. We might at some point rework on this navigation, right? We might just fix this navigation, but let's see what we can achieve at this point. So here we're going to have this, and we're just going to go ahead and then maybe push it from the left. So here we have it 113 pixels, so let's make it 113. Okay, so now this is it like this. Fine. And then we can just go ahead and duplicate this, Ctrl D, but it's not gonna be not with that much padding. Padding is just gonna be 29, so I would just say 29, and then Ctrl D, and that's it. So we're just gonna have the next one here is just gonna be 46. Okay, so we would say 46. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, so let's click on this and see something. So I will click on this and clear the fill color. All right, so I just had to clear that fill color so we can remove that white background, and then I will go ahead here and just, okay, let's just take this first. We can always change the other text. It's just that it requires us to do some exporting. I will do that, right? So but let's just get this one we can quickly get, and here I will just go ahead and put this here. All right, so actually I don't know what this is per se. Let's see if we can get the name. The name is category. Let me see if there's any icon called category. I see we don't have that here, so let's just leave it. Okay, so now we have this. We can always change it. Okay, we can always change it. So like this one, now we can just go ahead and select this, export 3x, preview, and export hot. It's that. So let's do the same thing with these. Export, say 3x, export. Okay, so let's go ahead and then get them here. So I'm gonna click on this, cut it out, and take them inside stuff. I can just delete this now and paste it and say right click, extract files here. Okay, and then it says menu. All right, this one works. Then let's say something else is to turn. Okay, great. So we can go back here and we can just go ahead and change this. So I'll click on this to change it immediately. Stuff, no, not this one. Stuff. So what is going on? Stuff. Okay, everything is in stuff. All files. Menu. Oh. Okay, so we have to put in icon to turn. Then just upload this. So that's done. Let's click on this and set it up. I hope you've learned a whole lot so far, and you're very close to mastering how all of this works. So now we have this. We have just one more thing to fix, just one more, and then we will be ready. Okay, so what we need to do next is this. All right, so this is the next thing, and of course I know you have an idea how we can go about this. So I will just go ahead and make a container. This container is gonna be black. Okay, so let's it's going to be a stack. All right, so it's gonna be a stack, but all of that is going to be inside this particular one. So let's see where we have here. So this is a stack. We're going to wrap these in a stack. Okay, so we wrap that in a stack, and in the stack we're going to add a container. The container is going to be 56 by 56. Okay, so it's gonna be a circle. The radius is 56. Okay, and then we're going to paste this, and inside this we're going to have a row, and inside that row we're going to have an image. Okay, so the image is this one here. It's 24 pixel by 24. Did I get it right? Yes. Let's go ahead and export it, and that will be all. Okay, so let's come here and change this to 24 pixels, and change this to 24 pixels, and change this to 0, and we need to go here, go to downloads and cut this out, and I'll go to this and just delete it, paste this here, and then just extract files here. So we have Loma. I think that should be it. Alright, so we now have this, and what we need to do quickly is change from network to asset, and click here to upload our details. So Loma, bold, and that's it. Okay, so we have done almost everything in this design. Now what we need to do is, this is our container, right? Good. We need to just go ahead and give it the location it deserves. So location is 29 from the left and 709 from the top. So 29 padding on the left, 29, and then 709 from the top. 799 from the top. We don't want from the top. Okay, so basically we have to give this one the padding, the downward push. So let's see, it's 22 actually. No, not 22, 14. Okay, Ctrl Z. It's not giving us exactly what we want, because this already has some issues. Okay, so I think we're going to have to go through some stress here, right? So let's make some assumptions. Let's say 35. All right, that works. And then let's say 40. Okay, so that's it. So pretty much it, right? So pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. 35. Okay, so we can even say 40. No, let's say 38. Okay, so that's it. So we have our design, and pretty much done. Okay, so this is it. I think it looks pretty good. Every other thing that hasn't been fixed will be fixed when we are adding some finishing touches to it. So let's take a look at what we have done so far in this particular part. That was a long one, but I believe that you've been able to learn a lot of things that will help even make you build something faster the next time that you're working on any other project. Okay, so let's just take a look at what we have done in the view mode. and then we can end this particular part of our course. Okay, so it takes a couple of seconds for this to come up, but I think it's ready to show us what it's got for us. So this is it, and I think this is pretty much neat. Okay, so this still has a white background. We need to go remove that, and this is okay. And this other one under, there's something else under here. We didn't really fix that properly, but this is good, guys. This is pretty good. All right, this is pretty good. Okay, yeah, we will change all of these and make it remove the color behind, but this is good so far. Really, this is pretty good. Okay, and then this one we might just need to adjust it a little bit too, yeah, because it's floating upward. All right, well done. We will continue in the next part of our course. See you.